Hey guys, back again here with another video. 3 straight days now that I put out a video about the stock market. Now this has been a very volatile time with all of the different earnings reports by massive companies really putting some swings into the stock market. Looks like it's working out pretty well for me here, up a little bit on the week. Today was a good day for me. I think a lot of this is because of one stock, as you guys will see. And in the last month, I am still up as well, $177. So not too bad of returns here. And then today I'll be going over the stock market live, where I do plan on making one purchase. So we'll see what stock that is. And I just want to say again, guys, if you're new to the channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button. I kind of want to let you guys know that I probably will not be making these videos twice a week like I usually do. These have been very time consuming, and I want to focus more on my animation videos because I feel like that might be the best way now for me to continue to grow this channel. I feel like most of the people that watch these now are subscribers, so I'm not really reaching out to any new audiences and grabbing more of the YouTube community that way. And plus it's more fun, I think, to practice those animation skills and kind of tell a different picture than what's going on in the market. So I still plan on doing one of these stock portfolio updates a week, but then the other video will be more on my whiteboard animation. So hopefully you guys aren't too discouraged. Let me know in the comments what you think of that and if there's enough outcry, I might change my mind. But again, I'll only have so much time to make these videos. So today we will go through my stocks here. Again, Starbucks up almost 9% today. Is up 9.52%. It's up almost $9. This stock has just been a rocket ship ever since I've literally owned it. Past year, up 92%. I own 3 shares. Wish I owned way more. You would be up 60% on your return if you bought it at the same time I did. Crazy stuff happening with Starbucks. They posted a very positive earnings report yesterday. They just completely blew it out of the water. Just very optimistic about Starbucks going forward. They said that they loved all the expansion that they saw in the US and China, the 2 biggest markets that they were aiming for. So gotta have your coffee. Love where Starbucks is going. So even though 3M beat its earnings report, you have to keep in mind that an analyst had actually kept their expectations very low for 3M. As you can see here, they set that bar really, literally set the bar low here for Q2. So even though they beat it, analysts are still skeptical on the stock for the future. It is down today. Am down on this position, but there was times where I was up huge on this position too. So, the stock market will have lots of swings, and some days you might be up huge on a stock like I was here on April 22nd, and then other times you might be down big on the stock. But at the same time, I have still been getting paid my dividends from 3M, $4.32 now that I'll get every quarter for owning 3 shares. We have Intel down after its earnings report yesterday as well, where it beat its earnings expectations. We have Procter & Gamble. I think Starbucks now overtook the total return on it. So we got 55%, I believe it was, for Starbucks, and we have 47% return for Procter & Gamble. We have Boeing taking quite a tumble here. There was originally optimism on its 737 MAX planes getting back on the market at the end of this year, but then the FAA basically said that had not been approved yet, and so now there's really no timeline. So down a little bit on Boeing, but like I mentioned before, at one point I was up huge here in March before they had all these issues with their planes. It was at $440, down almost $100 since then. So that's quite a swing, but still am collecting the dividends on that. We have Southern, a utilities company. Pretty solid return on this for a utilities company. 16% is really good actually for them. We have AbbVie. Wow, I can't believe AbbVie is actually up for once. 1.52% today. We have JP Morgan Chase up as well, 0.61. Up pretty big on this position, almost 9%, and it pays a pretty nice dividend. Raised its dividend quite substantially a year ago, so we'll see if they continue on that track. We have FedEx down here today, as well as Otter Tails is up 53.20 per share now. It was one of the first stocks I ever bought, so kind of just held on to it for sentimental value at this point. We have Pepsi. I believe it reported its earnings, and looks like they beat it as well. And Pepsi, Dividend Aristocrat here, very safe company, make so many different types of brands of food and beverage. Actually, Pepsi makes a lot of chips. I just realized the other day while I was watching that video about Frito-Lay. It was a lot bigger than people think that it is. They own like Doritos and Lay's chips, and of course Pepsi owns that entire subsidiary as well. So Pepsi is a huge player in food and beverage. We have Verizon, the telecommunications company here, up pretty big on this position, 8%, almost 7.59%, and then it pays a pretty good dividend there as well. Pretty stable stock. And then we have Store Capital, a REIT here. In the last week, I am up 1.75% on this stock. And then we have Apple. In the last week, they are up 2%. Not too bad for Apple. Love seeing it over 200. This is another position that I'm up $170 on. We have Microsoft, biggest company in the world here. Another positive day for them. I'm sure they killed their earnings report. And then we have Medical Properties Trust. May add a couple shares to this next week, depending on how they're doing. Again, they were trying to dilute some of their shares by issuing more of it so that they could raise capital to buy more hospitals. We have Iron Mountain down again here. I think it got downgraded by even more analysts, and that's really hurting the stock here. ExxonMobil, pretty stagnant. We have Chubb Insurance. Looks like I'm back up on this position. And then we come to the stock that is MasterCard, which has an amazing model. So if you couldn't tell by the way that I stopped at this stock, this is actually going to be the stock that I'm going to be buying another share of. And let me tell you why, guys. MasterCard has appreciated 1,590% in the last 10 years compared to the S&P 500, which has only appreciated 230%. So we have 1590 compared to 230. MasterCard has blown the rest of the competition out of the water here. Past 5 years, up 265%. Of course, MasterCard is now trading around a 50 PE ratio. But guys, I don't see the stock slowing down anytime soon. I try to find something bad about this stock that it just does not exist. MasterCard has a very amazing business model. Its business model is being able to take a small percentage of each transaction between the merchant and the buyer. And most of that money, it goes toward the actual makers of the card, such as the issuer like Chase Bank, and then the banks take a small percentage of it, of the payment processing service. So the very last little bit goes to companies like MasterCard, who provide the software and the hardware for those transactions to go through. Now, the individual transaction, that might not sound like a lot. They're probably getting like a fraction of a penny, but you have to keep in mind that this gets compounded over billions of transactions every day. MasterCard in Q1 had 2.54 billion cards with the MasterCard logo on it, and it was able to make 19.2 billion transactions worth. That totaled up to $1.5 trillion that people were swiping with their card. It added to $1.5 trillion, guys. That is such a large amount of money. A small percentage of any trillion is a lot of money. So that's another great thing about MasterCard, is that they're basically, once they set up that initial infrastructure, there's hardly any other cost for them when they add even more payments or more customers. So MasterCard is really able to scale these transactions and collect even more revenue. And as we grow to more digital payments, I don't see this slowing down anytime soon, guys. MasterCard is really here to stay. And a lot of the world they still use cash, which I think is super outdated. That's why people are trying to use, for one of the many reasons why people are trying to use different payment systems, like Facebook is trying out their new currency, and we have Bitcoin, And how many of those are really feasible, I'm not sure, but MasterCard already has something that works, and as it continues to gain market share in places where they're still using cash, definitely see MasterCard growing here. So that's why, even though it has a very high PE ratio, I'm pretty comfortable in leaving my money with them. So probably has changed a lot since I've been talking with you guys. So let's try to get another share here. So I will buy 1 share. Let's try to make it a limit buy. Right now it's trading for 281.98. And we'll just keep it for the rest of the market hours. And looks like we're all set here. So swipe up to submit that. And now I purchased this. So now I have 3 shares of MasterCard. It makes up now 7.37% of my portfolio. So pretty comfortable with MasterCard there. And then Visa, a very similar stock, makes up the other about 5%, I believe. So we'll check that out. We have my railroad stock here in CSX. It had a very rough earnings report, and I was able to buy the dip on that. Looks like it's continued to go down. UNP, on the other hand, had a good earnings report. As you can see there, it blew its expectations there as well. And then we have Realty Income. It's been kind of stagnant here. It's been in that high 60s, low 70s for quite some time, actually. So before, for me, it was really appreciating a lot, but looks like it's really slowed down here. And then Visa, the other half of MasterCard in terms of what's in that industry, that makes up 4.81% of my portfolio. So maybe I can get that to around 15% between Visa and MasterCard. That'd be a good little mix there and diverse. And Visa, again, just blew its earnings report out the water the other day. And I don't see any signs of both Visa and MasterCard slowing down. We have Facebook down a little bit today. And then Equinix really has been hurting here in the last month, down $20, 4%. Probably have not heard of this stock before unless you follow me. Still up on this position, but they basically are doing a lot of the cloud computing, and basically is a lot of that data storage that's in computers and connecting them to different servers. And it's a very international company as well, structured as a REIT, so you get those high dividend payments as well. And then we have Disney here at 144, so slowly we'll be adding into Disney over time as well. So let me know what you guys think of the new purchase, and let me know what you guys want to continue seeing out of this channel. Be sure to subscribe to the channel if you aren't already, and hit that thumbs up button. Try to put out a new animation video, so maybe if we can get like 15 likes, I will try to put it out this weekend. If not, it'll have to come next week. But remember, guys, last week we actually only got to 14 likes, which was 1 short of what I was expecting. So don't think that your like doesn't matter. All likes matter here.